Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where bold opinions, real talk, and Oklahoma grit collide with national sports headlines. I'm your host, the Podfather himself, Todd Foxx, bringing the heat from the heart of Sooner Nation, but I'm not alone. Joining me each week is my oldest son, Kellen, the only guy who thinks fantasy football is real life and still believes his high school flag football stats should have earned him a Heisman vote. The man brings stats, takes, and just enough chaos to keep it a little spicy. And you know him, you love him, and if you're on the opposing side, you fear him. It's my brother-in-law, Clay Banche McDonald, rattling cages and dropping verbal bombs like only he can. Think of him as a defense coordinator with a microphone, unpredictable, relentless, and always blitzing. This isn't just a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. This is a movement, a full contact, no holds barred, tailgate worthy audio brawl for the soul of sports talk everywhere. We're taking the league by storm. We're talking NFL, college football, NBA rivalries, hot takes, underdogs, and just enough trash talk to get you kicked out of Thanksgiving dinner. So buckle up, hit the subscribe button, and step inside the den where sports talk gets personal. You guys ready? Let's get after it. You ready? I'm ready. All right.
I'm ready.
Welcome back. Good to see everybody. Lots been going on since we last had our last podcast. Me and Kellen got to move cute little C down to Harding University over in Searcy, Arkansas. I always say I want to say Searcy, but it's Searcy, Arkansas, where she met up with her older brother, my youngest son, Gannon, was there already to welcome, and we got a lot of stuff moved in. Kellen, you want to talk a little bit about whenever you moved into college, whatever, 9-10 years ago versus Callie moving in this year?
I just brought some clothes, a TV, and a couple posters hanging on the wall. Callie had shelves and
2 carloads.
Clothes and more clothes and a headboard and clothes and makeup, and I've never seen so much stuff in my life, but somehow they crammed all that in there. I think if they move anything wrong, that whole room's going to blow up, but they got it.
Got a lot of stuff. Yeah, we moved Kellen in, and you drove, and I was with you, and you had a little bit in your vehicle. We had a van where 4 of them were in there, so that means they put, they laid the other seats down, put stuff in. So you didn't have a whole lot. But I guess girls are a little different. Clay, you'd have to tell us whenever you moved your 2 daughters in many, many years ago, probably, right?
Yeah, compared to my son, cute little M. He's going to be a senior in college this year, and he moved in on Thursday, and I texted him. I was like, hey, you need some help on Thursday moving in? And his response was, nah, I'm good. All right.
Yeah, I sent it.
We'll see you at graduation.
That's hilarious. I sent a text to C the other day. So she moved in. What day did we leave, Kellen? Wednesday? I think
Tuesday.
I sent her a text. Huh? Well, I mean, we left from back. Coming home.
Yeah.
And I think I texted her either Thursday or Friday and said, you doing okay? And her response was, yep. That's it. Thanks, Callie. Good job. Good job there. So, and then she's told Amy, I'm not going to be able to eat this cafeteria food. There's no way. It's not going to happen. Well, don't have a whole lot of options there, kiddo. Don't have a whole lot of options. So enjoy it while you can.
Mama Amy's food cafeteria is no longer in service.
No, it's not. It's now being taken over by the dog himself. But I'll be honest with you, it's been cool because I've got some good meals. I usually don't. That's anyway, we're going to be going over our annual quarterback rankings tonight. We're going to go 32-1. This is our 4th annual. So we started it in 2022 season. Now we're 2025 season. So 4th year of doing it. I know Kellen and I have done it every year. I think Garrett was real involved in it a couple of years. And then Garrett said, hey, you know what? I don't really want to talk NFL. I'd rather do college football. And that's fine. That's okay. Not all of us can be real men, but that's okay. So the plan is, what we're going to do is we're going to go 32-25. Clay will go, or Kellen will go. One of you all will go first. I'll go last. And briefly touch. It's not going to be honest with you, the first several, are like, whatever. Shouldn't say that, but it's true. It'd be great if we had a football NFL league where all 32 quarterbacks are pretty tight, pretty good. But unfortunately, it's not that way. You think there'd be more than 32 people that could throw a football on this planet?
And if you sit there and if I was one of the starting quarterback in the NFL, I was like, I'm one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the world.
It's true.
Not bad.
And you know as well as I do, a lot of it's system. Like you may be a terrible quarterback in a bad system or bad coaching of some sorts. Like we talked about, I think on one of the last podcasts when we were doing the division talks. Some of it's where you go, and that's why you got like a Lamar Jackson with Baltimore that went to a much better team. And same thing with Mahomes. I mean, if these guys were playing for some of these other garbage teams, I still think they'd be good, but maybe not. But anyway, I don't want to get on a big old rant here, but you guys can decide. I think we'll go youngest to oldest, and we'll go Kellen. So you're going to just kind of briefly touch your 32-25. Who do you got?
All right, 32. I got Spencer Rattler. I've never been back to the college days. Never been hot on him. Hope he does well, but just didn't see much last year. 31. I got JJ McCarthy. Mainly just I need to see him play. It's hard for me to put some of these guys high up on the list until I've seen him actually play. I think he'll move his way up the list, but for now, got him at 31. 30. I got Anthony Richardson. Had high hopes for him for the last couple of years, but it just hasn't panned out, and I really don't see much changing at this point. Hope he does well, obviously. Colts fan, but I don't see much happening. 29, I got Cam Ward. 28, Geno Smith. I don't think he's one of the most overrated people in the world. 27, I got Joe Flacco. I think he starts 6 games, then we see him phase off. He's just going to kind of help some young rookie get going. 26, I got Bryce Young. Realistically, I think he's a better quarterback than 26, but poor guy was drafted into a terrible team and just really has been given no chance. And then 25, I got Aaron Rodgers. I think he's long past his prime. I think he it's just not that good anymore. Really should have retired. Probably should have retired before he went to New York at this point, but who knows? We shall see, I guess.
All righty. So I'm going to go, and I just want to remind all our listeners out there, this is not the fantasy football rankings. This is just rankings in general. So, in fact, I'm going to actually combine because there's a couple of teams that are not really sure who the starter is going to be yet. So I'm going to combine them, but I'm going to go with Kellen's, and 32 is going to be Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler. Still haven't, probably it's going to be Rattler, but I see him platooning some this year, probably both going to get killed in the backfield, and so I see them both just taking turns getting hurt. 32. Number 31, I am going to go with Cam Ward just because I don't know anything about him yet. I think he's probably going to be pretty decent, but I think he's not going to end up being very good because the Titans aren't going to be that good. Number 31, I'm going to go with Michael Penix Jr. I think he's not bad, but and the Falcons are going to be pretty good, so he's probably going to have a decent year, but I'm just not super high on him. I'd actually probably put Kirk Cousins ahead of a lot of these guys, but he's a backup. Number 30, I'm going to go with the Richardson Daniel Jones thing because it seems like every article I read has Daniel Jones as the article or as a starter, and then the next one has Anthony Richards as a starter. So I don't know. So that puts me at 29. I think that's right. I'm going to go with Geno Smith right there. I'm going to go with that one, I'm going to go with Joe Flacco at 29. 28 is going to go with Geno Smith. 27 is going to go with, I think I'm going to go with Russell Wilson right here. just because I think he's pretty much lost it. And then 25, we're ending at 25 or ending at 26?
Ending at 25.
Okay, at 25, I am going to go Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Well, I will tell you, first off, let me just say that I am wearing a Brett Favre, some people like to say favor, jersey. I don't know where I got it. I got it somewhere. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's tough being a Cowboys fan. But my favorite jersey, the Roger Staubach one that I have actually right next to me, I forgot I was up here, is a little tight. So I guess it shrunk in the wash or I got bigger. I don't know what happened. But anyway. All right. Number 32, I have Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck as well. It should be Show because he doesn't, change your name, dude. But Tyler Shuck, don't know who it's going to be starting. Neither of them are good. Shuck stunk in the preseason as well. This team, we'll talk about it later. They're garbage. Let me just, another thing. I said in our last couple of podcasts when we were going over the divisions, I said possibly 6 wins, no shot. 6 wins would be a hero for these guys, no shot. My next one is number 31, J.J. McCarthy. And the only reason is because I don't know. I don't have any idea. And I just heard through the grapevine, you hear things and you listen to things and he struggled some. We'll see. I hope not. I hope he's very good because I want the Vikings to be well and I want him to do well. Number 30, I got Bryce Young, up and down, up and down, up and down. Kind of finished the season off a little bit better, but they just stink, and I think that's the reason as to why as well. Justin Fields comes in at number 29, likes to run the football more than he likes to throw. Not bad. I just think I think the guy, in my opinion, has been in some bad systems. I think if somebody like a Justin Fields played for the Kansas City Chiefs, you would see a much better result out of him. He wouldn't be the same as Mr. Mahomes, but he'd be better. I got number 28, Cam Ward. He could be higher up, to be quite honest with you. However, I've got him at 28 because we just don't know yet. And I will tell you this, I got a lot of hate emails. I got a lot of busting chops on me on social media in the past week or so off my Cam Ward take earlier on. And I had to make sure, told folks, listen to the entire podcast because I think he has a shot to be decent. The problem is the reason why I ranked him so low is because Tennessee stinks. And the coach isn't going to be there. The coach, gosh, dog, I forgot his name again, but it's what's his name's son, but the son of the offensive line coach,
Brian
Callahan. He stinks. He's not going to be there. I mean, 2 years tops. We'll see, but it's unfortunate. However, I think Cam Ward has a chance to be a good quarterback, but we'll see. Michael Penix, number 27. Again, like you said a minute ago, I think he's got talent around him. He's one of these guys, and I don't want to bust his chops because I said the same thing a few years about Kenny Pickett, and I was wrong. I think he has a shot to move up by the end of this year, depending on how well he plays, obviously. Any of these guys, but I think they've got a pretty good team around him. 26, Anthony Richardson / Daniel Jones, garbage. To be honest with you, they could be lower. They're not very good at all. Anthony Richardson has had opportunities, and I can't get out of my mind that was it last year or the year before? Remember he took himself out because he was tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired. You can't do that. And number 25, I have Russell Wilson. He's garbage. He's garbage. I think Jackson Dart is a better quarterback than he is, but I just had Russell Wilson down for now. So, all right, Kellen, let's go 24 to what do we say? Is it 16?
Yeah.
or 20, it'd be 24 to 17. Yeah, that's what it'd be. 24 to 17.
24, I have Michael Penix. It feels a little high, but I feel like he's got some decent weapons that will make him look good, and I think he'll be all right. 23, I got Drake May. He had a decent rookie year last year, all things considered. So I think under Vrabel, I think he could look really good. 22, I have Justin Fields. It's kind of hard putting him here. Again, like you said, just kind of bad systems I think he's been in. So we shall see. He's going to be with Garrett Wilson, though, so I think that could unlock something for him. 21, I got Caleb Williams. I could see him moving up a lot, but just didn't see much last year. Hopefully he gets a better system this year. Number 20, I have Kyler Murray. Wish he was higher, but, man, he just has never really done anything. He looks decent for a few games and wins wins a few games that he just shouldn't always win, but other than that, does not do much. 19, I got Tua. I think the decline of him is rapidly declining, I guess. I don't know. I think he's got another year or two tops of being a starter if he makes it through this year. Number 18, Brock Purdy. I think he is the most overrated, overpaid quarterback in the NFL. I don't even like putting him that high. I think he is just terrible. He came into a good system with good players. Number 17, I have Trevor Lawrence. I've been saying since before he was drafted he was cheeks, and he's been nothing but cheeks since then.
All righty. So I get on there at 24. I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa. I think what Garrett or Kellen said, he is trash. I think the Dolphins are going to be the biggest disappointment in NFL this year. I'm going to go 23. I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. We'll see if he's any decent or not. I think he had an incredible team around him last year with the Vikings, and but then they said see you later. 22, I'm going to go J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, we hadn't seen him play much, but boy, they sure do like him. So we'll see. So that's why I'm going to put him up there. 21, I am going to go with Drake May. Just not super impressed with him. Do think he's probably better than Mac Jones, but we'll see if they can get him going. Patriots still going to be just probably a little below average this year. 20, I'm going to go with Justin Fields. He's had so many chances to be good. I just hadn't seen it happen with him yet, so I don't expect any different with this year. 19, I'm going with Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is going to be a little better this year. Probably his best year he's ever had. I think the Panthers can be a little more, have a little bit of improvement this year. So we'll see kind of what happens with that. Number 18, I'm going to go with Matt Stafford, and just age. I think Matt Stafford is a really good quarterback, but I just don't. Just age, I think, is just going to catch up with him this year. He practiced, I think, today for the first time. So I think do I think he's better than a lot of these guys? Absolutely. I just don't think he's going to have that great of a year. Any of these guys that that don't participate in preseason, get a little timing down, they just not very good. And so he's kind of off to the sideline, still in his red jersey. I think, like I said, I think today, maybe this weekend might have been his first practice. And then number 17, I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. I think it's time for the Jaguars to move on. But if Liam Cohen can't get him going in Jacksonville, then he's done.
All right, fabulous. Let me get my dadgum computer fixed here so you can see it at the very bottom there. All right, I've got number 24. I have Geno Smith. He's just a journeyman quarterback. He just happens to be playing for some of these teams that need a quarterback. He's the, what do you call it, like kind of like a stopgap quarterback before they get the next guy. The problem is the Raiders have been looking for that next guy since Rich Gannon, and even before that since, what was it, Plunkett, Kenny the Snake Stable, those kind of guys. So it's been a while for the Raiders. But I do think Geno Smith is an upgrade from what they had before. They're not going to be that great. At 23, I have Joe Flacco. He's older than dirt. I like Joe Flacco. I didn't like him when he was with Baltimore, but I love the fact that somebody like that just keeps coming, keeps going out and trying to play football at his age. And he makes Cleveland better as a quarterback, but he's not. We all know that regardless, I think how the season goes, unless they're undefeated, but that's not going to happen. He's going to get replaced at some point by one of these other younger guys because they're going to want to see what they've got. Brock Purdy comes in at number 22. I agree with Kellen, one of the more overrated guys. He's one of these kids that he obviously went into a great system, a pretty decent head coach. I think he's maybe a little overrated as well. However, they're getting older and they're not as good, and he lost some weapons. He got a really big contract that they probably shouldn't have paid him. However, what were their options? They had to give him a contract. So regardless, I just don't think he is that fantastic. Number 21, Trevor Lawrence, like you said a minute ago, he's had every opportunity. If he can't get it turned around this year, I don't know where he could be. I think he's, as of right now, other than that one season, I think you would, in terms of, because wasn't he the number one pick I think he's a bust
Yeah.
in terms of being a number one pick. Could he resurrect that career? Maybe. Have him go to the Raiders, or somebody like that. But I'm not that sold on him. Number 20, Caleb Williams. Again, I think his ceiling's very high. We'll see how he does this year. I know he's been frustrated in camp. We'll see how he does in the new system with the whiz kid, the new head coach there, and we'll go from there. And then number 19, to be honest with you, Tua. I think Tua's an accident waiting to happen. He's going to get hit hard. He's very brittle. He throws an okay ball, not as great. I think Tua's the kind of guy I wouldn't mind being my backup, but I just don't think he's a great NFL quarterback. Number 18, Sam Darnold. Can't believe I got him ranked over 18, meaning too high. But he's another one of these guys that's jumped around, and just I can't believe Minnesota didn't re-sign him. They wanted to go with McCarthy, and we'll see how that all ends up at the end. But I just don't think Sam's that great. And number 17, I have Drake May. I think Drake May is in a really good situation with New England. New England has a shot to be a team that adds to their win total more than any other team this past season. I think they've got a really good head coach. I think May's going to be decent. I think, don't they have like Stephon Diggs now, which, I mean, whatever. I'm not saying that's going to be the answer. However, I do think Drake May is going to be decent, and that's what I've got. Next, we'll go 16 to 11. 16 to 11.
All right, 16, I have Russell Wilson. I don't even like having him this high, but just a lot of it's experience and a lot of it's just guys below him just are terrible, and I don't like them. I think he'll continue to fall down, but I think right now I got him at 16. 15, I got Bo Nix. Really was a pleasant surprise last year. Looked pretty good system, good coach. So I think I could see him continuing to climb slowly but surely. 14, I have Sam Darnold. I hate having him this high, but again, a lot of the guys below just are not good or not experienced. I think we saw probably the best year he'll ever have in his career last year, and I think in Seattle he's not going to be any good, but we shall see. 13, I have Dak Prescott. Just don't think he's that great. He's above average, clearly, but he's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Again, he's also incredibly overpaid, so it really hurts the team. 12, I have Matt Stafford. I don't like Matt Stafford. Again, I had to put somebody there. I think he'll continue to fall. I said that last year. I thought it was going to be the last we ever heard of him. I might have said that the last 2 years, honestly. I think he's on his way down, though. I think a very random Super Bowl winner, in my opinion. And then number 11, I have Jared Goff. I don't think he's not all that. He's a decent game manager. He's on a really good team, and he's not losing the games, but he's also not going to win you the game necessarily.
All right. So I'm going with number 16, Brock Purdy. Just kind of what you guys said. Just he's been on a decent team. We'll see if he can. I do like the fact that he doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot. I mean, when they turn the ball over, they do get beat pretty bad. But I do like the fact that he takes care of the ball. So he's definitely a shocker because I saw him play twice in college and never in my life thought he would be an NFL quarterback. So he's definitely moved up in my world on that. So that was what would I say, 16? Number 17, I'm going to go with number 15, I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud. Just because I think if you looked up Webster's dictionary and typed in the word inconsistency, C.J. Stroud would come up. And he's been good, he's been bad, then he's good, and then he wins a game, and then he loses a game, and he just but he's got a pretty good team. However, I think the Houston Texans might very well have the worst offensive line in the NFL this year, at least one of the bottom five. And so I think that's really, really going to affect him. Joe Mixon is still not out there. Nick Chubb hadn't practiced. And so it'd be interesting to see what they got going on. So maybe he's a little better, but I just think his stats aren't going to show it this year. Where am I at? I'm at number 14. I feel like I'm missing somebody somewhere. I'm probably going to get down there and not have a number 1. But number 14, I'm going to go with Caleb Williams. I do think he probably will have his best year. I think Ben Johnson, he's come out and said his goal is to have 70% completion rate for Caleb Williams, which we talked about that before, but he better throw a lot of screen passes if he's going to do that. But we'll see if he can get Caleb Williams, because nobody's been able to ring Caleb Williams in and his emotions. I've never been, even when he was at OU, the only reason I liked him there is because he won OU some games, but he's an emotional basket case. And if Ben Johnson get him under control, maybe it'll happen. Number 12, I'm going to go with Jordan Love from the Packers. I think he's a pretty decent quarterback. I think the Packers might take a little slip this year. He did have surgery last week on his hand, so we'll see if that comes back. I think he did come back in practice today because it was on his non-throwing hand, so probably not going to affect him a whole lot. But, you have surgery 2 weeks before the season starts. That can't be good. So that's why I'm putting him there. My next one, I think I'm number 12. I could be off, but I'm going to go with Kyler Murray, just because he stepped back up a little bit last year, and his points were a little better than he was the year before. They keep drafting offensive weapons. I love Trey McBride, love Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride, I think, was the number one tight end in fantasy last year, and so he's got some offensive weapons. James Conner's not a bad running back. And number 11, I'm sorry if I'm off. I'm going to have to shift this, but I'm going to go with Justin Herbert as my number 11. And I think he's a pretty good quarterback, but I don't know, right there, almost in the top 10. That's pretty good.
All right, number 16, I have Kyler Murray. I like Kyler. I want him to be successful. He's been inconsistent. And to your point, he's got weapons. He's had some weapons before. I just think that I think he pouts too much. I do think that he's one of those quarterbacks, in my opinion, that would benefit from going to another new scenery. Love him to go to the Raiders. I want everybody to go to the Raiders. I want the Raiders to be good again, but we'll see. But I just not as high on him as I have been in years past. CJ Stroud, number 15, like you said, he didn't have he had and to me, he didn't develop any more than he had the year before. I do like CJ, but I think he has the opportunity. But to your point, offensive line issues, we'll see how that all goes for the Texans. Number 14, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe a little higher than some people believe, but I believe in Aaron Rodgers. I think that when you see a motivated Aaron Rodgers and you've got some of the weapons that he's going to have, the only issue is, and it's a big issue, is that offensive line. How if he's on his back or running for his life, because he's not going to be able to run very much, they're going to have problems. And I think my personal opinion is you'll see this team start kind of slow until they all gel together and get to playing more and understanding what one another does. Then they'll start maybe being on a little bit of a roll. Got to stay healthy, obviously, number 1. I've got Jordan Love in at number 13. Love Jordan Love. I think he also, in my opinion, took a little bit of a step back last year, or didn't step up. Stayed the same, whatever you want to call it. He's got opportunity. I think he's got a really good opportunity to this season to take over maybe that division. If Detroit comes back down a little bit while losing the coordinators, I think it's going to be interesting to see how that all goes. Number 12, I have Mr. Bo Nix. I'm really high on Bo Nix, probably higher than a lot of people in football. I said it last year. You can go back and watch. I thought he was going to be the best out of all of them, and he was. I think he's going to be a really good NFL quarterback. He's got Sean Payton with him. He's got a pretty solid team. He's got a good defense. Look for the Broncos to make some big movements this year. Number 11, once again, I think I had him in the same spot last year, Mr. Dak Prescott. Wish he was higher. Great fantasy quarterback. He's going to win you some ball games. He's going to lose you some ball games. He's not going to ever win you the Super Bowl. Not at Dallas anyway. Not going to happen. Great guy, great at the podium. Honestly, a pretty good leader, and honestly, a pretty good guy overall. Just not consistent enough in the big games and the big moments. And I think this team is not as good as they have been in the past. We'll see. We'll talk about that probably in the next week or so on when we do our predictions. All right, next we're going to go 10-6, right, Kellen? 10-6.
Number 10, I got Jordan Love. I think he's a pretty good quarterback, pretty good system, good coach. Also, Brett Favre won his first Super Bowl at 27. Aaron Rodgers won his first at 27, and Jordan Love's about to turn 27. So we shall see. I think John Gruden pointed that out today. But number 9, I got Jaden Daniels. I will say I was wrong on him. I thought he wasn't going to be that great. I still think he was one of the worst Heisman winners in recent memory, just because I think there wasn't a whole lot of competition. But he came out and did remarkable last year, so I was definitely wrong on him. 8, I got Justin Herbert. I want him to be better. We'll see. I'm hoping with the Harbaugh system just continuing, he's going to continue to climb back up. But it's been a little bit of a disappointment since his rookie year. So we shall see what happens next. Number 7, I got Baker Mayfield. I love Baker. He's finally in a system that works for him, and he's finally showing. I think he moves up a couple spots on my list just from how hard he plays. What was it? Was it Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa? I can't remember. I think it was Nick Bosa. He trucked last year, and not a lot of quarterbacks would even take a hit from Bosa. So he's just a lot of heart. Number 6, I'm feeling like it's a little high now based on y'all's rankings, but I got C.J. Stroud. I think he's inconsistent because he's always got all his receivers are always hurt. He never has a full receiver room. I think I've been also high on him ever since I wanted the Colts to draft him. So we'll see. It was probably a little bit high, but I really, really like watching him play, and I think he can do something special. But we'll have to see about that line to see how he does. But yeah, that's my 10 through 6.
Righty. I'm going to go number 10. I'm going to go with Bo Nix. We talked about that, a little bit of a surprise last year, but he's in a good system. It works for him. They got a good offense coming back this year, and Cortland Sutton had a good year. They got Marvin Mims Jr., their tight end, got a good running back this year. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Bo Nix will probably improve quite even more this year. It'll be interesting to watch. Number 9, I'm going to go with Jared Goff. I think some of these people below him might be actually better quarterbacks, but Jared Goff is in the perfect offensive system, I'm assuming, unless Ben Johnson changes a whole lot of things. But Jared Goff, you said a while ago he didn't win a whole lot of games. I think he came back in maybe 5 or 6 games last year from behind and won some of those games. So he's a good dude. I think he was the Lions Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, and gave a bunch of kids scholarships and different stuff like that. So I think he's a good leader. What do the Lions do? The fans do that chant, Jared Goff, and they just say that. So I mean, they love him, and so his confidence is so high. So that's why I'm putting him at number 9. Number 8, I'm going with Dak Prescott. I think he's good. He's a good fantasy quarterback we talked about, but we'll see if he can ever get the Cowboys a little further along. I just don't see it happen. Number 6, I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. I just kind of with Bo Nix. I mean, being sophomore quarterback, second year guys, we'll see. I think Jaden Daniels. It's amazing how many times we've said this, all 3 of us, about, man, you're just in the right system. And but he's got Cliff Kingsbury running things for him, and so I just think that's really been good for him. Number 6, I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield, and it's amazing to see him getting up there. I'm just glad to see it and excited to see what he can do. I think the Bucs might take a little step back. They did draft a really good receiver from Ohio State to kind of help with Curtis Godwin. Didn't look like Curtis Godwin's going to be back for several weeks, maybe a whole month of the season. But we got Bucky Irvin, still got Mike Evans. I mean, they're just good. But losing Liam Cohen, we'll see if that makes a difference on his offensive coordinator. But he seems to be riding high in that confidence window as well. So that's why I got Baker Mayfield, number 6.
All right. I have number 10, Jared Goff. Again, I think he's the product of a very good system. It'll be interesting to see how well he does without Ben Johnson this year. I still think he'll do well. He got kind of booted out of the Rams because McVay wasn't too happy with him. I do think he's a decent quarterback. Number 9.
And he was the former number 1, too.
Yeah, he was number one. Yeah, he has definitely not been a bust at
Right.
all. He took the Rams to the Super Bowl. I know they
Yeah.
got beat by but I mean that was a really good team back then as well. However, I've got number 9 Matt Stafford, way higher than a lot of other people. And I agree with what you're saying as far as because I mean he's been hurt. He hasn't been playing. I think it's his back issues, which there's no shot he's playing 17 games this year. However, I know like the last 2 years, I think I ranked him a little lower due to the fact that I figured he was going to get hurt. I remember one year I said that was the year he was going to get hurt again, and didn't happen. And unfortunately, it could be this year. However, if I were looking through this list and I needed a win, I would take him over all the other guys that I've named so far. At number 8, I have Justin Herbert. I'll be interested in seeing how well he does in year 2 of Harbaugh, John Harbaugh. I think he's got an opportunity. He's one of those guys that he's unfortunately on the AFC side where you've got a lot of really good quarterbacks. And I think if he was on the NFC side, he would be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFC, obviously, as high as I'm ranking him. But he's not. He's on the side with I mean, you guys know who they are, and some of them we haven't even named yet. But it's going to be interesting to see how well he does. Number 7, I've moved him up a little bit. Baker Mayfield. Fantastic. Baker Mayfield. People do not think people will sit there and rip. Hey, it's not the same Baker from Cleveland, not the one from Carolina, not the one with the Rams. He got the short end of the stick with the Cleveland Browns. They have not been the same at quarterback position since he left. That's their problem. To your point, Liam Cohen being gone, I'll be interested in seeing how well he does. He's lost the last 2 offensive coordinators because Canales went to the Carolina Panthers. But the thing is the poor guy, I don't even know if he's had the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row in the NFL, and he keeps just rolling, and the players love him. And that's why I think he's one of the better quarterbacks. He really is. When you put the talent around some of these guys, they're obviously going to do better. And at number 6, I have Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a fantastic quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback, can score a lot of touchdowns on the ground. I think he's underrated as a passer. He's not one of the top passers, but he's underrated. He's a good quarterback, and he's an Oklahoma Sooner quarterback as well. All right. We're going to go 5 through 1. Do you guys want to do each one of us 5, who we said, and then go to 4, or do you want to go 5? Yeah, let's do that. So, Kellen, who do you have at 5, then Clay?
I've got Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I think he has the potential of being best in the league, but we just haven't seen a whole lot since he went to the Super Bowl. Not as much as we'd want, at least. So I think he has potential to work his way back up, but we shall see. He's got one of the best receivers on his team, and probably one of the best receiving duos. But yeah, Joe Burrow, number 5.
My number 5 is Jalen Hurts. We'll see what he's like this year. A.J. Brown still hadn't practiced yet, so that's going to hurt that offense, with that continuity. But Jalen Hurts is, you talk about a game manager. You talk about not making mistakes. He's unbelievable, and that's why the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl, is because of how he manages games. But I do want to say, before we pass it off to Todd, if you're in middle school or high school and you're one of the top quarterbacks in the nation, did you realize we named 4 guys that played for the University of Oklahoma?
Yeah.
And are now starting quarterbacks in the NFL. So if you want to be in the NFL, go to OU.
Well, heck, did you count Spencer Rattler?
Yeah, I counted Spencer Rattler. Who's the 5th one?
Caleb Williams, Kyler, Baker, and Jalen.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't count Caleb. You're right.
But you're right. But yeah,
that's 5 guys that started for OU at one point are now starting in the NFL. Yeah. So there you go.
Cool, kids.
Just say no.
I have Joe Burrow at 5. I think he's got the potential to be one of the top 3. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy, but I think he's fantastic when he is healthy. You saw what they did that year. They went to the Super Bowl, even though they did lose to the Rams. Joe Burrow, not only does he have the golden locks, he's got the golden arm, and I think he's got a shot if they can stay healthy. They have no defense, though. They're not very smart. But anyway, go ahead. All right, number 4.
Number 4, I have Jalen Hurts. I think he is fantastic. I think his mindset and the way he plays, to me, reminds me of, like, he could be a Oklahoma City Thunder player. Like, He's not getting too high, not getting too low. He does whatever you need from him. He can do a lot. He can do a little. He's not worried about stats. He just wants to win. He can let Saquon take the reins and win that game. He'll do the tush push 25 times a game. Like, he'll do whatever he needs to do. But and I think I loved this offseason. They were having the ring ceremony and everybody had their rings on. They asked Hurts why did he not put his ring on. He said he's already moved on to this year. That was last season. He's already moved on, and I think that's the mindset you want out of your quarterback. I hate that he plays for the Eagles, but I love Jalen Hurts.
I like it too. That's interesting that you say that. It's a really, really good analogy about the Oklahoma City Thunder. It must be something to do with the Jalen, because he does remind me a lot of Jalen Williams. J-Dub for the Thunder. Just whatever you need me to do, and I'll do it, and we'll win. So good analogy. My number 4, I think we're all kind of getting there close to probably our same top 5s, but pretty close. But I'm going to go with Joe Burrow, number 4. Dealt with a couple of injuries, and like you said earlier, Todd, that they have no defense. So he had his best statistical year last year because they had no defense, but he played pretty good last year. They still don't really have much of a defense. They tried to address a few things. I think they'll probably make the playoffs this year. I mean, obviously you want to keep his health going, but he, I honestly think, I think Jamar Chase had the best statistical year of any wide receiver last year. So when you got a player like that they've been friends for like 8 years because they played college football together and everything. So them two are just so in sync. It's not even funny. So Joe Burrow, number 4.
Number 4, Jaden Daniels. Love this kid. Plays for Washington. I'm a Dallas fan. Don't care anymore. I may have to switch sides to the Commanders. I'm not going to, but it's just incredible. This kid is exciting. Now, the only issue I have is, can he progress? You saw C.J. Stroud come down a little bit. You saw, we were talking a minute ago, who was the other one I said? Bo Nix? Oh, not Bo Nix. It was from the season before. Who did I say? I said, no, Jordan Love came down a little bit. So we've got to see some progression this year. There's a little bit of concern without McClellan not being there, whether or not he gets signed or some sort. But I love this kid. I think he's going to be a really big superstar in the league. But then again, I could be way wrong.
Number 3, this is where I honestly had more trouble in my top 3 deciding where they go. I've got Josh Allen. Might be, I don't know. I keep saying this about a lot of these guys. He might be my favorite quarterback. I love that dude. He just won the MVP, and I personally believe it was rightfully so. I know there's a lot of controversy there. I love Josh Allen. No matter who's on his team, he's similar to Jalen. Like, he's like Jalen and Baker. He'll do whatever. He'll put his body on the line. Like, that man is a unit. It's really hard for me to put him at 3 because I'd love to put him higher, but the top 3 is just so good. But we'll see. Every year, no matter what weapons you give him or what weapons you take away from him, he's out there performing, and I think it's just going to continue.
Josh Allen singing to you, "Can you take me higher?" Anyway, go ahead. Who was that?
Is it open mic night? So my number 3, I'm going with Lamar Jackson. Obviously, I think we all 3 got the same 3, and probably if you put 100 people up here, everybody would have these 3 probably in their top 3, and interchangeable for different reasons. I'm just going to go with him as number 3 because I think the other 2 guys have taken their teams a little further than Lamar Jackson has. So I'd like to see him, and like Ravens, man, you got this window, man. You better not lose it with this guy. This guy's incredible. People said he couldn't throw. He can throw. He can run. He doesn't get hurt. Doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Guy's incredible quarterback. So I got Lamar Jackson, number 3.
All right. I as well have Lamar Jackson at number 3. Here's the thing about Jackson. He's got to win the big one. Like you just said a minute ago, he's got all the stats. And you just said it, he can run. He's a lot better passer than I think anybody had given him credit for. And I think it's something he's developed over time. Plus, he's so dangerous when he's running that the coverages are probably all out of whack. And that's how he's able to find some of these guys open. He's got to win the big game to move up. He has so far has not shown that he can beat either the Bills or the Chiefs in the real big game. But I have a feeling it's possible this year may be that year.
I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but my number 2, I have Patrick Mahomes. And this is not an all-time list. Obviously, when it comes to all-time, he's number 1 of the current starting quarterbacks. But I think he's always been in a good system, one of the best head coaches of all time. He's got decent team around him, obviously. He's always had Kelsey, solid receivers usually. So, I mean, I have him at number 2. I think I don't know. I pray they're going to start declining as a team, and we can start seeing some other teams hop in the Super Bowl, but we will see.
So my number 2 is Josh Allen. Great guy, great quarterback. I mean, I like what you said earlier about he run the ball. Obviously can pass it, league MVP. He's an incredible quarterback. Just had one Super Bowl yet. It's my only difference. Josh Allen, number 2.
I have Patrick Mahomes at number 2. Patrick Mahomes. He is much better than I think a lot of people thought he was going to be. Somebody saw that in him, Andy Reid. I'm just, I think a lot of his success is him, but I also think Andy Reid has a part of his success because Andy Reid is probably the best coach in all of football right now. And to be honest with you, one of the best of all time, to be quite honest with you, because he did really well at Philadelphia before he ever came to Kansas City. I think Mahomes is fantastic. I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. I don't despise Patrick Mahomes, but I want Patrick Mahomes to quit winning because I want to see some other teams win. He's very good. And I mean, that's no disrespect to the Chiefs nation. I know we used to live in Springfield, and it was pretty cool whenever the Chiefs were doing okay, but that was pre-Mahomes when we lived there. So if I lived there now, maybe it'd be different. Maybe I'd feel different, but I don't think so because I just get tired of the same team every year, unless, of course, it's the Dallas Cowboys, which I did not. Let me think for a second. It's been a long time since 95. So yeah, it's been a while. So Patrick Mahomes, number 2.
All right, number 1. I think also if I'm reading this correctly, I think we all 3 have different number 1s, so that's pretty cool. We all have the same top 3, but we arranged it differently, which I like. I have Lamar Jackson. I think he's one of the ultimate packages when it comes to legs, arm. Incredible speed, incredible arm. I think he's got a good team and a good coach, but I truly believe if you would have dropped him on the Chiefs, I think he'd have a few Super Bowls as well, mainly because of Andy Reid. But I think he is incredible. He had one of the greatest quarterback seasons of all time last year. I think like I said, I believe Allen deserved that MVP, but Lamar had a great season. I think he could probably win MVP this season if he keeps it going. Again, those top 3 are all interchangeable, but I got Lamar at number 1 this season.
My number 1, Patrick Mahomes, the second. And you kind of can tell I really like him because of the Super Bowl wins, the championships that he's brought. But I think this is why I think I like him better than or rank him higher. Now, once again, this is not fantasy football. If it's fantasy football, he's not been really good fantasy football-wise. I mean, he's still in the top 10, but he's probably 6 or 7 down the list on quarterbacks. So, but number 1 overall quarterback, I'm picking him because I've seen the Chiefs win in several different ways. I mean, was it last year? All the receivers get hurt. He had somebody like Tyreek Hill. Then he had somebody like Travis Kelce who's going downhill. And then he had some pretty decent running backs. He didn't have very good running backs last year because they kept getting hurt. I remember that guy's name, that white dude it was like a 5th string running back. He comes in and, they had Samaje Perine and if they had somebody like Saquon Barkley, oh my Lord, I think they would be so much better.
Yeah.
But they just don't, that's not where they spend their money on. But then he keeps losing people like Rashee Rice, and he lost Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, and then they bring in DeAndre Hopkins, and he still wins no matter what the system is and who's out there. He just makes them better. So There's so much to Patrick Mahomes. The second is my number one.
Well, I will tell you, and I like the fact that all of us came up with different ones, but Josh Allen's the best quarterback in football. If I were starting a team today, it would be Josh Allen. The difference to me is I truly believe, and to not any fault of his own, Mahomes has Andy Reid as a coach, offensive mind. Who does Josh Allen have as his head coach?
Sean McDermott.
Defensive minded. Josh Allen's doing a lot of it on his own. And he's incredible. He can't keep it up, I don't think, at some point, because he's running too much. He takes too many big hits. But if I were starting a team today, Josh Allen would be the guy. I think he is incredible. And we got it on tape. I've got it recorded somewhere. I don't know. It used to be, heck, it may be on my old Facebook account that I can't get back on. However, because we had it, because Garrett was busting my chops, and I said he was going to be a star. And Garrett said no. And I was right. But Josh Allen is number one in my book. So that was very fun. A little long-winded, unfortunately, but it was good. It was some good conversation. And I don't know if we've ever had one where everybody got the different number one. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, I know coming up here in the next few weeks, I know we're still going to have some different topics. I know one of them is going to be, we're going to look at some fantasy football before the season starts. Golly, I really want to do it after the draft so nobody thinks I've got some of these guys picked high. Also, we're going to do the predictions on each division, on who's going to each game, or not each game, but every team's record in the divisions. And then, of course, we got football coming up, college football coming up. OU will play Jiminy Christmas. Is that 12 days away already? I can't wait. That'll be fun as well. But we've got a couple questions we're going to ask. I know Kellen was going to come to the table with a question, and I've got one at the end as well. So Kellen, take it away, Kellen.
All right, we've got this little random debate. Every time we get some of the family together, we go through some random stuff. We've been talking for years, trying to figure out what dad's going to be named whenever he becomes a grandfather one day. And he's always wanted to be called either King or Big Daddy, but it seems lately he's been set on Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
I was kind of playing around with it. Not a big fan of Big Daddy. Don't think that's a name I want to be calling him. No. I was thinking Big Gravy. Just kind of makes sense. Man loves gravy. Just kind of fits. And I think it sounds kind of chill. I mean,
how does that make sense?
I guess I want to hear y'all's thoughts on
just because I like gravy. Gravy's not my favorite. That doesn't make any sense.
You like daddies?
Yeah, I like myself. I'm Big Daddy. See, the reason why some people think it's nasty. Here's the thing: it's not meant to be nasty. You've got you guys as sons, or Callie, you got the daddy, okay, and then you've got me, who's Big Daddy. That's what it's for. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's great.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Makes no sense. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Sure. What'd you have for breakfast today?
It doesn't matter what I have for breakfast today. Okay, because Amy, I was unable to have lunch here yesterday, so they had breakfast for lunch, and Amy made biscuits and gravy, and I had some biscuits and gravy this morning for breakfast. Doesn't mean I eat them all the time. I like gravy, but I like chicken fried steak more. But of course, I like it with gravy. However, I'm just telling you, I don't like sitting around with a straw, slurping up some daggum gravy. That makes no sense.
I got another question.
If I gave you a mug of gravy, you'd just be.
I got another question. White or brown?
I mean, I like white gravy. Yeah. I mean, I do. I mean, it's like sausage gravy is the best, but white gravy, I'm not a big. I can eat chocolate gravy.
It depends on the meal, but white gravy typically takes the cake.
Yeah.
So sure, I don't know if y'all remember this time. I came visit y'all in Iowa one time, and we were at some American.
That's probably why I don't like brown gravy. Now that you mention it.
American Family Steakhouse, something like that. I remember something like that. And the lady asked me, the waitress, she goes, "Do you want chicken or cow gravy?" I had no idea what she meant. I didn't know that meant white or brown. I'm like, neither one of them are made from chicken or cows. So that's what she asked me. And I was like, interesting. So I had to think about it. And I was like, okay, I think she means white or brown. So I went with chicken and got the white.
I thought you were going to talk about the time whenever you licked the mashed potatoes. Or was that?
I didn't lick anything.
We're having mashed potatoes and gravy, of course. And we're all sitting there. Clay's visiting. It's just the family and Clay. And dumps the mashed potatoes.
No, I did not
No,
do that.
I think he scraped it off with
This
a
is
fork.
his second portion. This is his second portion. So the spoon and fork or whatever he was using had already been used, and he scrapes the spoon to finish it off.
Let's ever forget this record straight. Okay, I had a fork and a spoon on there. It was my second helping. You're right, but I did not use my spoon on the first round of food. What do you use a spoon for? It was just there for decorations. Your mom was trying to make impression on me, like she actually had a silverware down. So I used my spoon to scrape it off because it was so good and stuck. I scraped it off, and you were like 8 years old and go, "Oh my God, what is wrong?" And like nobody would eat mashed potatoes. I mean, Todd ate gravy, but he wouldn't eat mashed potatoes.
Well, sometimes you didn't know which one was which. I'll just be honest with you. But I will tell you real quick, one more funny story about all that. We were living in Springfield the second time and Kellen was the little guy, and I saw him in there just going to town, like eating the rest of the mashed potatoes, and I started laughing. He goes, "What?" I just started laughing hard, and he was like, "Wait a minute, did you lick it?" And I had already licked it. I had no idea he was going to do that. And he's like, his face turns pale. He's like, runs in the bathroom. Good time.
A little bit of germaphobes in the Foxx family, but that's okay.
I don't know about that. Well, maybe. We'll see. All right, here's what I've got. This is going to be a fun portion here because we're going to talk a little back to school action here. However, it's going to be regarding back to school lunches. Okay. So it's going to be, you're going to keep 4 and you're going to cut 4 on these back to school lunches. However, what's going to take a minute is me trying to find my dadgum list that I just had a few minutes ago, and I'm trying to find it right now.
While you're looking, just to prep myself, do any of these back to school lunches have gravy?
Fantastic question, Clay. I don't know. I'm going to have to keep looking.
I would also like to say I've never been to school, so I don't know what these kind of school lunches are, but I'll shoot it with my best shot.
So let me explain something to you. In the 70s and 80s, early 80s, my mom, I don't know, it may have been like the Thursday before, the newspaper would show you what was going to come out on lunches that week. And she would stand there in the kitchen and read off, "Hey, it's going to be this." And I'd say yes, 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 or no. And very rarely did I ever take my lunch. Maybe 1 or 2 of these I did. However, you're going to keep 4 and you're going to cut 4. Here we go. Beef goulash.
Pass.
Don't even know what that is. So
it's awesome. Homemade, it's good, but school lunches, not good.
Like the rectangle pizza is either cheese or a pepperoni. Usually.
Good. Keep.
Yeah, sounds like a keep.
Turkey tetrazzini.
Cut.
Yeah, that's the one I always said, take my lunch.
Yep.
In my little, what was it? NFL.
Metal.
All those are the greatest.
Metal with a thermos.
Corn dogs.
Thermos are great.
Keep. Salisbury steak with brown gravy.
I would keep that. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Chicken fried steak with cream gravy.
Of course.
Those were good. Keep. I only have 1 more left.
Kellen, how many you got?
I'm full on keeps, sadly.
Oh, you really? Tacos.
Oh.
I think it was hard shell back then. I don't remember.
They were all hard shell. They weren't the greatest.
Yeah. So
lots of lettuce. I'm cutting.
Kellen has to cut. And then last but not least, my favorite meal as a child, bean chowder.
I guess I'll keep. I probably would have kept tacos instead of it.
So they called it bean chowder. But it also came with a cinnamon roll. It was really good. Those were the days I would get what was called doubles. You give them $2 and you would get two things of bean chowder and 2 things of cinnamon roll.
I wish I could have gone to your school.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Cinnamon rolls are dog.
Ooh, yeah. And I honestly don't remember if they had anything else with it, but bean chowder was what I had, and it was fantastic.
Probably a breadstick or some apple slices.
Probably. But
you remember Apple Crisp? Remember Apple Crisp in those lunches? Did you ever have Apple Crisp?
I don't remember. I didn't. What are you talking about? The
like as a dessert?
I didn't ever.
No, from the school lunches. Apple Crisp.
Yeah. They're okay.
Oh,
they're all right.
Cinnamon apples. Oh,
not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Pretty good.
Well, that's got to do it for the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. We're so excited that you took time out of your day to listen to our podcast, and we need you to subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got, what is it? We're on Twitter. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that kind of good stuff. So we need you to listen. We need you to comment, do some comment about some gravy. I don't care, whatever. I'm not going to go by that. However, let's figure some other stuff out. But that's a wrap from the Foxx Den, where the takes are hot, the sarcasm is strong, and the refs are always blind. But until next time, stay loud, stay loyal, and remember, if your team stinks, just blame the coach. It's a tradition. Goodbye, everybody. Boomer.
Sooner.
Thank you for listening to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Foxx Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Foxx Den Sports and on Facebook at Foxx Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Foxx Den Sports.